welcome. So today I would like to talk about love, and I do not have a script and I don't have any notes taken down. Just in my meditation this morning, I just had this impulse, this inspiration to talk about love. So we'll see what comes through. A lot of people have a lot of misconstrued ideas about love. They have love linked up with pain, abandonment, heartache, hurt, shoulds, shouldn'ts, and a whole bunch of other things. And I wanted to clarify, when I'm talking about love and some of the meditations that I do on love, I'm talking about a sensation, a feeling that is generated within the body. Okay, so I usually like to guide people to discover what their love feels like by inviting them to close their eyes and think about something or someone that they love unconditionally. Now, when I say this, it's not something that brings tears to your eyes because there's pain or heartache in any way, shape, or form. Something you love unconditionally. This could be like when you're out in nature and you feel just this open, spacious, big, like, that could be what your love feels like, right? Like, think about something that calls forth the feeling of like, oh yeah, I just love that, okay? Think about that. And as you're thinking about that, notice what sensations begin to occur in your body. For me, my love feels warm, and it's usually right here, of course. I mean, it can spread through the whole body naturally, but it starts generating in the heart area, and it's warm and spacious and inviting and cozy. So once you notice what the feeling of your love feels like, then you can begin to generate that feeling outside of any kind of a thought. So you can pause for a second and just start generating that feeling within. Now, some people really struggle with this one. I've come across a handful, or quite a few people actually, in my time as a coach that really struggle with feeling love. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's because it's connected with pain and trauma. So I suggest choosing a sensation or a feeling of gratitude instead. These people that have a hard time with love oftentimes have an easier time with gratitude. So if that's you, then I'm going to invite you to place gratitude anytime that you do meditation or whatever. Generate gratitude, okay? So now, both gratitude and love have very high energetic frequencies. If you notice, you feel really good when you're generating this place of love, or when you're in love, or when you're in nature and you're just like, I just love this, or when you hold a brand new baby or brand new puppy or kitty or whatever your specific thing is that you love. When you're with it, you feel good inside. And the reason is because the frequency is such a high frequency. And it's a well, as far as I'm concerned, it's quite a beautiful frequency. Now, one of the things I learned, I don't know when I learned it, a good handful of years ago, probably 20 years or so, I started learning about the power of love. The power of the frequency of love. So you hear a lot of people on social media and probably in your families or whatever that say, I'm sending you love, I'm sending you love, I'm sending you love, okay? Some people probably look at this as like this super, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's like a surface, silly kind of approach to change. But here's what the truth is, and here's what actually happens. So because love is such a high frequency, anything that you put love with, or gratitude, right? Any of those high frequencies, anything you put it with, it transforms it. And here's how it works. So let's say, for an example, you're dealing with some resistance to something. Maybe it's resistance to making a specific kind of a change in your life, something like that. Now you could try to push yourself through it, but a lot of people really struggle with resistance specifically because it's like digging your heels in, it's stubborn. But resistance has a completely different frequency than love. So what if you were to take love and put it in the same place as your resistance? What if you were to surround your resistance with the feeling, the sensation of love? What happens is the resistance, the frequency of the resistance begins to change. So there's a law of the universe that's called the law of resonance, and it states that only energy of similar frequency can reside in the same place at the same time. And so this is the concept that we're talking about here. If you put the frequency of love and the frequency of something else, resistance, hate, fear, judgment, pain, I don't care what the resistance is, it will change. It has to change. Now, what decides the direction the change goes? Now, let's say you have love and you bring some fear in. Sometimes the fear can overpower the love, and you'll be feeling more fear than you are love. So what is it that determines which frequency rules? My explorations around this is that it's the one that you're focused on the most. It's the one you give the most power to. It's the strongest one, the greatest one, okay? Now, the really wonderful thing about love is if you bring love into something consciously, now consciousness also has a high frequency. Being conscious, being present with something is a high frequency as well. So if you consciously bring love into the presence of another frequency, that other frequency is going to be the one that changes. If you consciously bring fear in to the place of love, you're most likely going to be dealing with more fear instead of the love. So it's what you're placing your attention on. It's what you give power to that is stronger. Now, the really great thing that I love about love is that I don't have to make the change happen. I don't have to figure it out, know what is the best approach, know what needs to change, know what needs to happen in order for the best possible thing to happen. Because love is such a high frequency. When I bring it into the space of whatever it is that needs to be changed or looked at or faced or explored, whenever I bring love in, love will decide what changes. And the really great thing is that love always chooses the greatest. Because it's such a high frequency, it's going to attract and call forth the greatest, the best, the biggest. I can guarantee my brain doesn't always know what the biggest, greatest, best thing for me is. I think I know, but that doesn't make it true. Now, as I've experimented and explored with this concept over the years, what I'm discovering is the more that I can let go of my stories and beliefs about how I think the change should occur, if I can let go of change happening altogether, change happens faster, better than I can imagine it sometimes. So that looks like, let's get down to the logistics of this, okay? That looks like taking something that you're judging, let's say your body, because a lot of people have body issues, image issues, that type of thing. Let's say you take that and you begin to pour love onto whatever aspect of you that it is you're judging, pouring it into the judge, right? The part of you that's judging, without any need to fix or change anything. Because if you're fixing and changing, then you're in a state of control, not love. Love, unconditional love, is this feeling of love no matter what, okay? So you're gonna project that love onto that aspect of the body that you're judging. And you're just gonna let it be exactly as it is, just be in love with it. And the love, and if you do this enough, okay? If you do this enough on a daily basis, you're gonna start to notice massive change. And the first place you're gonna notice the change happening is here. Your mind is gonna change. You will start looking at that aspect of you differently. You're gonna start relating to that aspect of you differently in a much more holistic way. And at that point, you're gonna start making the changes in your life that align with and match with love. Instead of thinking that you know what the change is, love decides and love guides you to make the change. So I created a meditation if you want to practice love, and it's on my YouTube page, so you should be able to find it. It's called The Transformative Power of Love. It's a 20-minute meditation, and I invite any who wants to experiment and explore with love, the power of love, to do so with this video. The video talks about 3 different aspects, or directs your focus to 3 different aspects, one of which is yourself. The next one is other people, your family, your loved ones, those who are around you, your home. And the third one is the world. And I wonder sometimes what would happen if more and more and more people began focusing on the frequency of love in all of these areas instead of trying to control them. Instead of trying to make things happen the way they think that the world should happen, or the family should do, or that their body should look like, or the things they think they should do. What would happen if love got to decide? If love got to be the chooser? Because my experience, again, is love chooses greater than what we could choose for ourselves. So one of the other aspects of love that I want to talk about is my experience so far with love is that it is ever changing. Well, and that doesn't quite say it. It's expanding. Thank you. That was the thought I was looking for. Love is expansive. And the more that I dive into love, the more, or maybe it's just that my mind is expanding to grasp more understanding of love. I don't honestly know. But I do know that the more that I dive into love and explore love and experiment with love, the more I am recognizing and becoming aware of a deeper and deeper and deeper level of love. Love currently is, for me, is growing beyond, or my awareness is growing beyond to see the depth of love in this way. I'm going to try to do my best to explain it. Hopefully I can. Love for me currently is very spacious, incredibly spacious, and allows so much and sees beyond the duality of life, beyond the good and the bad, the right and the wrong, the should or the shouldn't. It sees beyond all that. It includes it, but it's not limited to that. It's greater than all of that, and it's very spacious and allowing of everything. And it's one of the most pleasurable, and that's not quite saying it right, it's pleasurable in the way that space is pleasurable. Freeing, maybe, is a better word. Freeing, spacious, open. Doesn't need. It allows. And in that space, I'm noticing things are changing for me rather quickly. Things specifically in my mind, my thoughts, my brain, the way that I've functioned in the past, the way I've seen the world, myself, my family, with no effort on my part. The more I'm sinking into a life of being in this place of love, the less doing, the less action that is occurring, and the greater the expansion in myself is being made manifest for me. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I don't know that I could say or convey to you the incredible magnanimity, I don't know the word I'm looking for, magnanimous energy of this next level of love that I'm experiencing. So I share that with you mostly to go there. It's worth it. Oh my goodness, it's worth it. The more you can explore, play, and experience love, the more you can choose love, the more expansive and beautiful life becomes. It's truly heavenly to be in this place, to be touching love in this deep of a way, to be having life emanate more fully. This depth of love is incredible. So I bring this up to show you, to share with you, to hopefully give you a greater understanding of the power of love, what love can do and where it can take you. It can take you beyond what you ever thought was possible for yourself. And the only thing that needs to happen is you got to choose it. You got to choose it consistently. In those moments when you don't feel beautiful, when you feel resistant, when you are dealing with fear, when you are whatever it is you're dealing with, choose love. Now, I don't say this to have you override what you are feeling, because I am not a believer in that. If you are overriding something, you are going to create a lot of damage for yourself. So the path I suggest is to, whatever's going on, whether it's resistance, fear, anger, hate, whatever, receive it all. I'm going to do a video on receiving really soon. But I want to say it here first. Receive it all. Receive it all. Receiving means like a complete relaxing around it, a facing it, looking at it, being with it, present with it, but also a relaxing with it. So we can look at things and face things, and we can be like, I'm gonna face it, right? But that's not a receiving of it. That's kind of like a barrier. And I'm talking about receiving it all, being with it, receiving it all, and then dropping into a space of love after it has felt full, like you've fully seen it. Now I'm going to go into this much deeper in my video on receiving, because it is a really powerful topic. And it's actually the receiving piece that is taking me into this deeper level of love. So I want to go into that more fully. But today I just wanted to chat about love. So my desire, I think, for doing this video is that more and more people will consciously choose to bring love into their life in all moments. All the moments deserve to be loved.